Valentinian I, born in 321 CE, was one of the significant emperors of the Roman Empire, ruling from 364 until his death in 375. He is primarily remembered for his military focus, administrative reforms, and efforts to secure the empire's borders during a turbulent period of Roman history. His reign, which saw the division of the empire into eastern and western halves, marked a time of internal strife and external threats, yet also set the stage for later developments in the late Roman Empire. Valentinian was born to an equestrian family in what is now the region of modern-day France. His early life is somewhat obscure, but it is known that he served in the Roman military, which was a common route to power for future emperors of the time. Valentinian rose through the ranks of the army, displaying impressive military skill and leadership abilities. By the 350s, he had gained the trust of the Roman elites, and his name began to gain prominence. His breakthrough came during the reign of Emperor Julian, 361 to 363, when Valentinian's service in the military was recognized. After Julian's death in 363, there was a power vacuum, and Valentinian, with his solid military backing, was proclaimed emperor. In 364, he was elevated to the imperial throne by the Roman army, succeeding the short-lived reign of Jovian, who had died unexpectedly. Valentinian's military credentials were a significant factor in his election, as the empire was under considerable pressure from external enemies. One of the defining moments of Valentinian's reign occurred shortly after he became emperor. He divided the Roman Empire into two administrative regions, appointing his younger brother Valens to rule the Eastern Empire, while Valentinian took control of the Western Empire. This division reflected the increasing complexity of managing the vast Roman territories and allowed for more effective defense and governance. Valentinian took the Western Empire, which was centered in Rome and had a significant military presence in Gaul and Britain, while Valens governed from Constantinople, overseeing the eastern provinces. This division was not just administrative but strategic, as the Western Empire faced different challenges compared to the eastern part. Valentinian focused on defending the Western Empire against constant threats from barbarian tribes, most notably the Germanic groups along the Rhine and Danube borders. Valentinian's reign was marked by frequent military engagements, especially on the empire's northern and eastern borders. One of the primary threats came from the Germanic tribes, particularly the Alemanni, who were pushing into the western provinces. Valentinian led several successful campaigns against these Germanic invaders. His military prowess earned him a reputation as a strong and resolute leader, earning him the title Germanicus for his victories over the Germanic tribes. Another key military threat was the Sasanian Empire in the east. Valentinian launched campaigns against the Persians, attempting to maintain Roman control over key territories like Mesopotamia. These campaigns, though not entirely successful, were aimed at reinforcing the empire's eastern borders and curbing Persian expansionism. Valentinian's military expeditions were often characterized by harshness, and he placed heavy demands on the Roman provinces to fund these wars. However, the pressure on the empire's borders continued to grow. The Goths, a large and formidable group of tribes, became an increasingly serious concern. The battles fought with the Goths and other barbarian tribes drained the empire's resources and manpower, while the constant warfare made it difficult for Valentinian to maintain internal stability. Although Valentinian is mostly remembered for his military achievements, he also introduced significant reforms aimed at strengthening the empire's governance and infrastructure. As a ruler, he recognized the importance of an efficient bureaucracy to manage the vast and diverse Roman territories. His administration sought to improve tax collection and streamline the imperial bureaucracy, though these efforts often met with mixed results. Valentinian also enacted legal reforms, including measures aimed at protecting the rights of the Roman upper classes, such as senators and landowners, while imposing harsh penalties on criminals and those who threatened social order. His policies were focused on ensuring stability and preserving the imperial structure, even as the empire faced constant external and internal pressures. Despite his military successes and reform efforts, Valentinian's reign was also marked by a series of internal power struggles. He often had to contend with dissent from within the Roman elite, and there were attempts by rival factions to undermine his authority. Nonetheless, Valentinian remained a strong leader and maintained his position through a combination of military might and political maneuvering. In 375, Valentinian was in the midst of a campaign on the Danube frontier when he suddenly fell ill. He died shortly after, reportedly from a stroke, while he was in the city of Brigetio, modern-day Hungary. His death marked the end of a tumultuous era for the Western Roman Empire, which was left to his young son Gratian, who ascended to the throne. Valentinian's death left the Western Empire in a precarious position. His brother, Valens, ruled the Eastern Empire, but the two had often been at odds, particularly over military strategy and governance. The empire was also beset by increasing barbarian invasions, and the instability following Valentinian's death contributed to the eventual decline of the Western Roman Empire in the following decades. Valentinian's reign had a lasting impact on the Roman Empire. His military successes along the frontier helped temporarily secure the empire from significant external threats, although the growing pressure from barbarian invasions foreshadowed the collapse of the Western Roman Empire. The division of the empire into eastern and western halves would later become a permanent fixture, contributing to the emergence of two distinct Roman states. Valentinian's leadership style, focused on military strength and practical governance, was emblematic of the challenges the Roman Empire faced during the 4th century. The increasingly decentralized nature of imperial rule, as evidenced by the division between Valentinian and his brother, would later become more pronounced as the empire struggled to maintain cohesion in the face of both internal and external pressures. In conclusion, Valentinian was a strong emperor who took on the responsibility of defending the empire against both barbarian invaders and internal disorder. His reign laid the groundwork for future imperial reforms, though his death marked the beginning of a period of greater instability in the Western Roman Empire. Though often overshadowed by later figures such as Theodosius I or Constantine the Great, Valentinian's leadership was critical in navigating the empire through some of its most challenging times.